Hi everyone, I'm Zuzka, the Crafty Penguin. Welcome back to my channel, welcome back to a new video. This one is going to be a rather quick, I hope, update on my current projects and recent finished ones. One of them is of course the rainbow maxi skirt, which is already finished, and I actually filmed a short segment on that on my birthday, so let's watch that one now. Hello! I'm just recording this as a bit, maybe a segment for a future video. I'm recording this on my birthday. Hi, it's my birthday today, but you will see it in the future. I am still working away on the rainbow maxi skirt and I'm really close to the end. But that will still take a few days, I think, because the rows at the bottom of the skirt are just enormous. And I think I have about 3 to 4 rows to go. I changed the pattern at the end a bit and it's getting a bit dense. So I'm getting to the point where each of the color changes in the yarn cake makes exactly one row. To be exact, the last row that I did, there was the change of the color to the next one about like 4 stitches from the change from the row below. The change of the colors is not at the join of the rows, but it's basically at 2/3 right now. I still have my handy list of color changes here, which won't focus now. Yeah, now it focuses. And I'm marking where I am in the pattern and when I finished the row or the color change. And the yarn cake is getting really small and really cute. It was looking amazing when there was the light blue or the middle blue and the dark blue layer on this. That was really pretty. But yeah, we're to the purple and I'm not going to go all the way through to the light pink because that's going to be the lower edge of the skirt and I don't exactly want the part that is closer to the ground to be light colored. So it looks like I'm going to end somewhere in the purple magenta part, which is honestly the best, I guess. And this is how it looks like now. Whee, it's very big. So there's the top. We are not going to use the pink part on the bottom. So this is how it looks. It goes back to the dark blue now and I think it's really beautiful. And the pattern ended up being really nice. There were parts that I was not enjoying while making them, but in the end, or you know, I'm still not at the end, but in the end it looks really great. And I tried it over several kinds of undergarments. I used a light blue petticoat or skirt, I used a black one. And both of those look great. It also looks great over jeans or leggings. So I think I'll be able to just wear this over whatever, basically. So yeah, that's where we are. And I mean, those color changes. Look at it. It's so pretty. So yeah, I'm working on that. I'm now making these, where is it? I'm at the other end. Yeah, I'm making these fan parts. And hello, please focus on this. Yeah, so this is from the row below and I just started the next row, which just makes the fans even bigger and closes up this part pineapple design. So yeah, there is a lot of cat hair on it. because at points the cat just comes and demands that I put the skirt away from my lap so that she can plop on me and give me some very important and very needed fluff. So yeah, that's where I am, that's what I'm working on, and I mean really the rainbow is amazing. So yeah, that's this thing that I'm working on, and I'll send you now to the next segment. Bye. And now that we are back from that segment, I'll have to tell you that I finished the skirt only 2 days after filming that on the 18th of May, and I managed to appoint my friend, who's a really great photographer, to take some promo pictures basically of the skirt in a park with me. So I'll put some pictures like that on the screen. They were very well accepted in the crocheting communities that I follow, so I was really happy about that. And of course the skirt is here. I've already worn it to a gathering of my friends from archaeology group, and it was a great success. People were amazed that I actually made that myself, so that was fun, that was great. So here it is, and of course it's not gonna fit the screen in any way, so that's why you have seen the pictures, and I just love it, it's great. I have to be careful a bit when I'm wearing it because there are in this part those big holes and they tend to catch on stuff, so I need to be careful. But again, crocheting is pretty sturdy. The way the chains and stitches are made is really sturdy, so there is not a great risk of it, you know, unraveling. It can rip, but the string itself, the strands are quite sturdy, and the crocheting fabric basically is really great for that. So I'm careful but not too much worried. And I have to say, I love the way the last few rows just go so quickly into the dark blue and the slight, you know, purple magenta part, because at that point really I got to the point where one color change was shorter than one row of the skirt, which is amazing because right here it was like one color change is like 3 or 4 rows, and then suddenly from like here it went to row and a half, and then less than 1 row in the last ones. And I think the gradient looks really amazing. As I said in that segment, I was not planning to have the whole pink section on the end. I wanted it to be dark at the end so that if it gets, you know, dirty or dusty from the ground, it's not as visible. So I'm really happy with that. It works well with the dark petticoat, it works well with the light petticoat. I got pictures in both, as you have seen, and I hope I'll get a lot of wear out of this. And it's basically my biggest project to date, biggest amount of yarn. I have about 80 grams left of the original yarn cakes. I have those in here, excuse the rustling. So this was the red part of the first yarn cake, or the second one. When I finished the first one, I didn't want to have a double of red in there, so I took that away from the second one, and this is the end of the second yarn cake. Altogether it's about 400 meters, but there are two separate balls of yarn now. So I'll see what I'm gonna do with those. As you know, I have remainders of other yarn cakes as well. I took this out because I noticed that I haven't entered my oolong shawl from February into my Ravelry project lists and haven't deducted the yarn from there, so I did that recently. So these are just some of my remainders. I still have the petrol one, the pink one. I think I'll have another pink one, but in a different shade soon. I'll show you that in a moment. So I have kind of an idea what to do with these. I'll have to see if it's viable, but it might be interesting. So we'll see about that. Another thing that I started doing just after finishing that skirt, because when I finished the skirt, it was like this big dopamine spike, you know, finishing the skirt. It's all done. And then I was like, now what? What should I do now? And I know I had this plan to make the spider dream top from another yarn cake. I also polled you, you know, on the which way up it should be, which color should be close to my face on that one. And I was looking at that yarn cake and I was like, I don't wanna. For a short while, I didn't want to start working on another big thing, another big project, another big yarn cake. But what I needed to remember was that the skirt was done out of two 1.5 kilometer yarn cakes, so out of basically 3,000 meters of yarn. And I haven't used all of that, but you know. And the next yarn cake was only 1 kilometer, only 1,000 meters, so it was a third of that. The project was not going to be that big. But for a bit I worked on my travel project, you know, that I have in my backpack, as I've shown you, and I'm really close to finishing this one. I don't want it to unravel. But the mesh bag, the purple and blue mesh bag, is really close to being finished. It has one handle already and I'm working on the other one, and it's missing like 10 rows max, or maybe even less. So this is gonna be finished soon, and I only basically work on this when I'm out and about, so I haven't worked on that much, and I sort of had to force myself into doing those handles because that's sort of boring. but yeah, I did that, and basically the day after finishing the skirt I sort of got back into the mindset of I'm gonna work on another, you know, beautiful gradient yarn cake thing. And I started the spider dream top, and I was basically amazed at how quickly it went along. I already read the pattern before, and it is noted in the pattern at the start that it is for experienced crocheters. You need to adjust number of stitches at some places, you know, according to your size. And I was a bit worried about that. I was not sure if I'm going to be able to assess, but I just started and I went on and I tried it on, you know, every few rows whenever it was mentioned in the pattern that you should, you know, try it on now and it should reach to this point or there, or you should add a few rows if it's not reaching to the point where it should be. All of that. It is for experienced crocheters, no doubt about that, but it went along well, and I was able, you know, to wrestle my brain into adjusting the pattern as was needed. So I am now pretty well close to the end of that. I needed to adjust other stuff going along. I'm now about to rip out half a row because I tried an adjustment that I thought is gonna be better than what is described in the pattern, but it's not. It looks like it's not. You can't tell basically at any point because you can't see the final product, but when I put it on now on myself, I can see that the pattern is right, and I just tried if I should do it differently, and it looks like I shouldn't. So it's just a few stitches. It's not terrible. It's not like in the case of the skirt where I had to rip out a whole row, but it was a row of like 1700 stitches, you know. So this is how the top looks like for now. It needs to be worn over something. It's holy, but I'm working with the idea of wearing it over a tank top or over even a t-shirt. It even looks pretty well over a long sleeve shirt, so not bad at all. And this is how it looks like. I was also pretty worried about the colors at the start because I felt like the green was not really my color. Then I felt like the gradient has pretty harsh, you know, transitions of colors. But when I see it, you know, like this, it flows pretty well. It works. The gradient is okay. And I noticed that they're basically pretty much my colors. So in the end, those doubts went out the window, and I like it really much. It looks quite well, I think. And the bottom is amazing. It's kind of frilly, and it's gonna get I guess one more repeat of this part, or maybe two if I'm able to eke that out. We'll see. We'll see about that. And this is what's left of the yarn cake. So I have a bit more of that magenta pink one, and then the rose pink color, and I think that's gonna work pretty well. I should actually weigh the rest of it now before making this first row of the next repeat, so that I know how much one whole repeat of that pattern takes of the yarn. So yeah, good reminder. So this is how it looks for now. The construction is fun. It starts from the arm side, as you can see, and it goes first in, you know, closed rounds, then in rows where you go back and forth, and then it's joined together, and again you're working in rounds, but you turn your work between each round, and then it's sewn together at the waist, at the side, like this, and you work rounds around the bottom. So it's asymmetrical, it's quite fun. It's, as I said, it's holy, it needs a layer underneath, but it's great. I think this is gonna be a great part of my wardrobe, actually, and pretty fancy, and still, you know, fun and interesting and all of that. So I'm working on that, and today is like the 10th day that I'm working on this, and I'm pretty close to the end. First, I thought I might be able to make it in, you know, 10 days, but I had about 2 days where I made not much, very little. So if I was concentrated on it, I would probably be able to make it in 10 days, but it will probably take like, you know, 2 weeks. Still really great, considering the skirt took me over 2 months, almost 3. But then again, there was also a great pause in making that. So big projects around here, and I'm really happy with them. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to be making after that. I still have that big mega cat started. I only have still the nose part of the face, and I'm sort of itching to make a triangular shawl, and I have a lot of yarn cakes still, so I might be looking into that. But also when I was trying the rainbow skirt on, when it was in the length to approximately my knees, I found out that a shorter skirt might also be a great project, and I have some yarn cakes that might work for that. So there is probably a shorter skirt in the future, there's probably a triangular shawl in the future. Also, I have a plan for a small like toy, like you know, amigurumi project, and I still have a lot of yarn for those loaf cats, and I would really like to go through that and, you know, use up that yarn. So we'll see. We'll see. We are also going to go for a vacation at the end of June, and I will have to take some crafts with me, so I'll see what I will be able to do over there. It's gonna be interesting. Anyways, that's probably all. One thing that we are interested in now, the whole family, are again the little birdies in our how do you call it? It's not a chimney. It's, well, this light emitting hole through our house, between our house and the next one, where there are windows from the bathrooms going into. The birds that were there last year, you can watch the video from last May, a short video with the look into the nest. They're there again, and they had their first batch of birdies, the small birdies, and those left the nest now, like 3 days ago, and we are planning to install a camera right against the nest. It's gonna be quite hard to put it in there. There is not a great access to the place, but my husband worked on placing the camera on this kind of board with attachment points, you know, and everything, and we are hoping we're gonna be able to install that and see the birdies, you know, live on camera if there is a second batch with which this kind of birds has like 2 batches of eggs every year. So if we are lucky, this is gonna work, and I might have some footage of those birdies for you next time, maybe, or at the end of summer. We'll see. So yeah, that's our real life adventure right now. And with that, I thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking the video, subscribing, all that good stuff. There is still just, you know, 370 something subscribers to the channel, and I would like to see that number going up. So if you feel like it, just subscribe to the channel and follow next videos that I'm going to make. And comment on the videos if you're interested in that. Tell me something in the comments to this video about your nature watching, if you have some birdies or other animals visiting your garden or your nearest park that you love to watch. So have a great time with all of that. Enjoy crafting, enjoy creating, and enjoy the colors. Goodbye!